want to give a big thank you to all of our faithful viewers. We're so grateful for the time you take to look at these videos and listen. I'm especially thankful for the comments and stories you've been sharing. One of the stories that was recently shared made me think about the idea of change and transition, change management. And this is what one of our viewers shared. One of the leaders of the organization decided to make some substantial changes in the structure of the organization, including going from 5 or 6 days a week to now 24/7. And when they went to 24/7, they simply crafted an email and sent it out to all the employees saying that we're going to start doing this. Everybody's going to have to start working multiple shifts, different shifts, 7 days a week. Part of the issue was also is that this particular leader simply sent it out without any discussion with any of the management, supervisors, so it was news and a surprise to everybody at the same time. All too often, that's what we see in our organizations. Leaders spend time thinking about things, and by the time they get where they've made a decision and they want to share with everybody, they then share it thinking everybody will immediately get on board and get to the place they're in. Unfortunately, that doesn't work very well, right? You can imagine the frustration, the angst, the hurt, the anger that creates in the employees and the supervisors and managers, right? Employees go run into their supervisor, and the supervisor says, look, I don't know. I saw it in the email that you saw. That's all I know, and I got it at the same time you did. One of the issues that we find ourselves spending a lot of time in organizations is how do we manage change in a way that helps people to come along with us? We call this change and transition. One of the things we often say is that it's less about the change itself and more about the transition. Meaning, how do we help employees to deal with their emotions and come with us on this emotional journey? Because we all deal with change differently. Some of us love change. Some of us, we hate change, right? And so depending on that change and depending on how we feel about change is going to depend on how quickly we can get on board with it. What we end up doing oftentimes is we disengage, we disempower our employees because we don't involve them, we don't get their input, we don't give them time to process through what we're looking to do. In future videos, we'll talk more specifically about this idea of transition and the emotions that go with it. For now, though, if we could remember, as leaders, when we start to think about changes we want to make, maybe we could spend some time talking with particularly managers, supervisors, and the employees ahead of time to give them time to prepare for it before we roll out major decisions. We start to involve them and engage them to hear what their concerns, what their frustrations, what their worries might be. So as you go forward and you think about change, I encourage you to think about how do we involve our employees, how do we engage them, how do we draw them in, how do we value them so that they're more likely to go with us and help us through the change and not feel like they just got hit by a bus and it was done to them.